Christion Willett here, the voice of my generation. Today we're going to be talking about getting in control of this right here. We got to get in control of our mind. We got to get in control of our situation or where we at in life so that we can move forward. We can't let fear hold us back. We can't let emotional distress hold us back. We have to learn how to get in control of these situations so that we can make it happen for our life. A lot of us are struggling right now because we're not in control of this. We're not in control of the outbursts. We're not in control of our anger, our emotions. So what I want to do is give you four tips on how you can get in control of your mind, and it's going to help you continue to move forward. But first, I need you to like and subscribe. I want to change 1 billion lives so that we can make a difference in this world. I need you guys, and I need you guys so we can be together. We're almost at 900 subscribers. So 2 more subscribers away. You guys have been awesome to me. I'm really so thankful for this journey we're on, and we're on it together. So let's get straight into it. Number 1, the first thing that we got to talk about is in your mind, when there's a bad situation or you're going through something hard in your life, that is not the reality of it. Okay, we got to stop falling for this. I fall for this all the time. I will go through bad situations in my life and I think that is the reality of it. I will experience a bad emotion in my mind and I think that is the reality of the situation. So that is called when you're assuming and then you allow your assumptions to become realities. We have to stop doing that. Stop assuming in life. Stop assuming everything and just live. See, that's the problem. Something happens in our life and in our mind, we take that thought, we take that emotion and we turn it into life. And now we're not living. Now we're living in that fear. We're living in that assumption instead of living in the reality of life. And every time I do this, every time you do this, at the end, the outcome is never what you thought in your head. Sometimes it might be, sometimes in some situations, but most of the time when it's a negative thought or when it's fear, that is not the true outcome. And on top of that, if the outcome is something bad, that was just to teach you. And that's going to move into our second point. So the first point is this: stop assuming your reality. That's not true. It's not real. In your mind, the bad situation is happening right now. In your mind, the bad thing that's going on in your life, stop making it a reality. It is just a thought. It is just your emotions telling you that the worst case scenario. That is not the true reality of life. And at the end, if you just live through it, if you work your way through it, it will work out for your good. I'm telling you every single time. But if you let that thought kill you, if you let that thought tell you that it's over, that you're nothing, that you're dirt, that you're not going to make it, you will let that take over your life. So listen, this goes into my second point. Fear is not something that should stop you. Fear means that you're doing something that's uncomfortable, that's unknown, that's going to get you to a new level. This is the second point. A lot of people take fear and they let it just stop them. They see fear and they just like, oh, I'm gonna stop in my tracks. I cannot do this no more. No, fear just means you're doing something that's uncomfortable or that's not common to you. Fear is helping you grow. Fear is helping you get to another level. Fear is helping you experience new ways of life. Listen, this is all mindset. This is emotional intelligence. This is how you understand that you're getting to another level. You're not gonna get anywhere you have not been by being comfortable. It's called fear, right? You think when they first tried to climb Mount Everest, you think that they weren't scared, that they didn't have fear of climbing up one of the largest mountains in the world? Yes, because there's fear. You're about to do something great. You're about to do something amazing. That is because fear is not a roadblock to stop you. Fear is the indicator that you're doing something great. When I first started speaking, you think when I first got on stage, I didn't have fear of speaking in a crowd of 100 people? Speaking in a crowd of 50 people, speaking to a crowd of 25 people. Yes, but I overcame that because I realized this is something that is greatness. This is me inspiring people, helping people. Yes, it's fearful. You're scared to get on camera and talk to people and share your life story. But that is fear was showing me that you're on the right path. You're going to do something incredible. Listen, the devil wants you to be scared. The enemy wants you to be scared so you never accomplish your dreams. That's what fear, it wants you you have big dreams, you have big aspirations, to just stop and say, nah, I'm not going to do that today. Nah, never mind. Or let's say when you first started driving, right, that fear you was going to hit somebody. What if you just stopped? What if you just said, no, I'm never driving again? So you're living with that fear. And we got to get out of that in our mindset. You have to transform your mind and say, fear is not a roadblock to hurt me. Fear is just another step in the process to help me become more successful. That's all that fear is. My third point, keeping emotional composure without suppressing your emotions. Okay, this is an important point. Keeping emotional composure without suppressing your emotions. You've been in situations where you maybe blew up, or you've been in situations where people say your emotions don't matter. And so now you're holding in your emotions. You're not expressing yourself properly. This will hurt you. This will hurt your mindset. This will hurt the way that you think. This will hurt your creativity, your expression. This will hurt you from getting to a new level and new opportunities of expressing yourself, of being you. This will hurt your character. Because somebody told you, oh, that was a dumb idea, or because you might have blew up and lost control, or you might have been in a situation where you overexpressed. Now you're suppressing your emotions. You cannot suppress your thoughts. You cannot suppress your emotions or feelings. You have to be composed, and you have to pick the right moments. Be composed. Know when to express your feelings. Know when not to. Know when you express it enough. Know when it's time to stop. That is how you be in control of your mind, your emotions, right? It's okay to express your emotions, but know when to stop. Know when the right moments. Right now, listen, it might be a moment where you're in a heated situation. That's not the time to express your emotions. That's not the time to say how you really feel or think. The time that might say it is 2 or 3 hours later, when you and that person both have ate, y'all both have talked it through. Y'all can sit down and say, hey, I want to say this about that conversation earlier. Right? Because I've been in situations in my life where I've expressed my emotions at the wrong point in time, and you got the worst of me. You got the loud, hey, yada, this is that. No, that's not how it works. So now I go in a situation, a room where I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna keep quiet. You're not adding value to the world. You're not adding value to the situations. So do not allow a bad situation. Do not allow emotional suppression to take over you. You got to understand that it's the right time and it's the right place to express your emotions. And it's going to lead into my fourth tip. This is the fourth and most important tip that I have for you today. Do not allow a bad moment to make you think you have a bad life. Do not believe this lie. Don't believe that because you had a bad moment that you have a bad life. Do not let 5 minutes of a bad moment tell you that you have a bad life. Do not let 30 seconds of a bad thought tell you that you have a bad life. That is the biggest lie that the enemy will use to destroy your life. You will have a bad moment. You will have a bad opportunity. You will have a bad experience, and now you think you got the bad life. Don't let the enemy trick you. Don't let the enemy allow you to think because you have a bad moment that you got a bad life. Because I had a bad situation, because I went through a bad season of my life, now I think I have the worst life possible. Stop thinking of that. You got to think about how blessed you are. You got to think about how great your life is. You got to think about how fortunate you are to be in this time, in this generation, in this moment. Do not let a bad moment or a bad situation or a bad thought make you think that you got a bad life. That is the biggest lie and the biggest trap of the enemy that it can do to take your mind. You got to get in control of this. And you can't let a bad day or a bad moment make you think you got a bad life. Let's just say this. Let's just say you had a bad year, right? Let's say you live to be 65. Your life is 65 years long, but you had a bad year. And so now you're going to allow a bad year to tell you that you had a bad life when you're 65. At 65, you got 64 more years. Even if you had a bad 5 years, you got 60 years. Don't let a bad moment tell you that you had a bad life. Hey, I really appreciate you all watching this. Thank you all so much. Christion Willett, the voice of my generation. Remember, my goal is to change 1 billion lives, and I need your help. Thank y'all so much. Make sure that you like and subscribe And listen, hey, we at 898 subscribers. 2 more and we almost at 900. Man, I can't thank y'all enough. Christion Willett, the voice of my generation. I'm out.